Jay Thakkar is with Sher Khan is joining us right now. Jay, afternoon, Prashant here. So what would you make of the closing and the late sell-off that is coming in?
Hi, good afternoon, Prashant. Well, Prashant, the sell-off which we have seen in today's trading session as well, following yesterday's sharp cut in the index, I think that somewhere it has again reached to the lower end of this range that has been going on since past 3 weeks now. On a daily charts, when I look, we clearly see that pattern of a broadening triangle pattern that's been formed on a daily charts, and it's clearly visible that somewhere around 77.30, 77.40, there exists a support on a closing basis. On the higher side, 79.40, 79.50, that's the upper end of this triangular range. So it's quite a broadening range. Every time in this particular range, Prashant, we have seen market trading, it managed to surpass its previous swing high, trap the short-term swing long traders and fell. And when it broke its previous swing low, it trapped the short traders by moving up again. So that's what has been happening since past couple of weeks now. And I think till this range is not broken decisively.
Actionable here? Anything actionable?
I think one should wait and watch for this range to break out, Prashant. I think, as far as the index is concerned.
Lupin, any thoughts? It's down 9% now, almost breaking 1500. Jay, Lupin, it's breaking 1500. Okay, I think we have lost the line with Jay, so we'll just reconnect and go back. But that's the closing which is coming in. I think, Jay, just coming back to you, that's the closing. Nothing of note except, Lupin. Lupin stands out. 9% cut. That's a 150 rupee cut for Lupin. So numbers came out during market hours yesterday. The stock actually was flat. But later, there was a conference call and they indicated that R&D expenses are going up. They said that they're seeing some delays as far as approvals from US FDA go. For site transfer of products out of the Goa plant. Remember, Lupin can't export any products out of their Goa plant, which is a big facility. And they want to move the products to other facilities where they can be manufactured and then exported. And they said that also is seeing delays. So I think it's a big one. I mean, the low in February was 1280. Today it leaves off just above 1500. ITC spiked up, and I think that's the reason why you did see a bit of a move coming in. So by close, it's up by 4% 338 is where ITC is at. A fair bit of buying coming in right into the close. So I think we'll have to wait a little bit for other details. I think that's the reason. The flash at the bottom of the screen, ITC has announced a bonus of 1:2, which means I'm assuming for every 2 shares held, there's 1 share which you will get as a bonus share. So I think that's the reason why you saw that spike coming in late into close. Otherwise, the numbers were broadly absolutely in line. But I think that news, the intimation of the bonus came a little close by to 330. Some other stocks are flashing up on your screen as well, but let me just talk about the big ones. I've already highlighted Lupin, Ambuja Cements, ICICI Bank, BPCL, Reliance Industries, Ultratech. These are all down between 1.5% and 2.5%. The biggest gainer by close was, of course, ITC, followed by Adani Port, Tata Power, Idea, and ONGC. Adani Port, which has gotten beaten up pretty badly recently, came up about 6.5 rupees or so. The day low was 170 for Adani Port. It leaves off at 178 rupees. So that's the overall picture that we have. Just a couple of other stocks. Maybe we could put up Sun TV, and what we'll do is we'll put up the most active stocks, both volume and price-wise, up on the screen, so you don't miss a thing. Let me go back to Jay Thakkar from Sher Khan. We lost the line with you, Jay. I trust you can hear me now. I just wanted your thoughts on Lupin, which is just about holding on to 1500 now.
Well, definitely we have seen a sharp cut coming in Lupin in today's trading session post his results. Prashant, what I believe is, the rise which we had seen prior to this fall was very corrective rise, that is quite overlapping, that there's a lot of noise and chart was too distorted. That clearly indicated that the probability of this rise sustaining and inching up towards this previous swing high, I think that was not the case. That was quite visible, and I think the cut which we have seen in today's session clearly indicates that the previous lows which we had seen in Lupin, that was somewhere around 1280 levels, will be revisited or will be broken soon in this leg of the downside itself. I think, but for the medium to long-term traders, I would say it's not a reason to panic that the previous lows of around 1280 would be revisited or will be broken. I think it's still trading in its wave 4 in its longer-term charts. So I think once it breaks its previous lows and somewhere forms a bottom around 1200 levels or so, I think that it would again become a good attractive stock for the long term. Then it would then somehow form its pending wave 5, which will again get this stock back above the levels of 2100. So for the long term traders, I would say they can continue to hold this stock and plan to add some more once previous lows are broken. But for the short term traders, I would say just avoid longs as of now. Those who are holding it, they can exit it if they see any bounce. And shorting opportunities obviously there, because we are targeting around levels of 1280 in the short term, but then shorting on bounce would be a prudent strategy in order to have a favorable risk reward on the downside.
Okay, I have one more stock your way. This is SRF. If you can put the stock up, it's lost about 15% or so. The high for the stock was about 1500 rupees. It's now at 1200. Although over the last 2 years, that is from October 2013, it's up 10 times. It was 120 rupees. It's 1200 now. I just want to understand the correction that we're seeing. Is this, regular, or has something changed here?
Well, Prashant, if you see, SRF's charts, from the month of approximately August 2015, this stock has been trading in the range. The highs which we had seen in August was somewhere around 1500. The recent highs was somewhere around 1468, 1470, right? So we have seen those highs getting retested, and the stock has fallen from those levels and, failing to surpass the previous highs. The lows which we have seen, Prashant, in this stock in this past couple of months, that is almost like 2 or 3 quarters, we have seen the lows somewhere around 1000, 1020. So the broader range for this stock, Prashant, is 1000, 1020 on the downside to somewhere around 1490, 1500 on the upside. That's the 500 point range. Now the strategy till this range is not broken on the upside or the lower side, I think the traders should exit at the higher side and somewhere think to buy around the lower side of this range. That should be the strategy as far as this range is concerned. So I think that looking at the correction which is ongoing right now in SRF and the bounce which we had seen from 1000, 1020 levels to recent 1468 levels was a corrective one. So that signifies that the previous highs of 1500 levels will not be taken off until it again revisits the lower end of the range, that is 1000, 2000 and 1020. So I think one should exit whatever position for the short to medium term one has on the long side if they are bought at the lower levels, and shorting opportunity will be there on the bounce.
If you join a trend line, this is August 2013 as the starting point. There are various touch points on this. November 2013, then March 2015, and then the next touch point is much later in February of 2016. This 2-year trend line, almost 2.5-year trend line is broken, I think, this week. The past week. So, it looks like a big one. But anyway, Jay, thanks very much. Appreciate you joining in with that perspective. Have a good weekend. See you soon.
Thank you.